Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. After an extended exposure to all of the challenges of the Levant and the broader Middle East, we now shift to a much larger landscape, which fortunately is not yet in the same state of crisis. But as I think our panel this afternoon will show, there are many steps that have to be taken, both by Africans and by those who have an interest in Africa's success, in order to create the sort of environment that will avoid catastrophe and enable success. And that's going to be the focus of what we discuss this afternoon. The panel is entitled Building a Sustainable Future in Africa. And we have, from my left, going across all the way, Nadler Spikele Thomas, who was, of course, the CEO of Ada Nepad, Vincent Biruta, the Minister of the Interior of the Republic of Rwanda, the Niale Kaba, who is the Minister of Economy, Planning and Development of Côte d'Ivoire, and Jean-Michel Severino, known to all of you, the Chairman of Investir et Partenaires. The approach that we're going to try and take is to recognize what you've heard in the whole of the day. And if I can go back to that, if you looked at all of the discussions that happened this morning, conflicts in general, there are wars across the Sahel extending all the way to Sudan and the Horn of Africa, in the eastern DRC and down into Mozambique. In terms of health, the health challenges across the continent in terms of an absence of both nutritious food and, in addition to that, appropriate health care is challenging on all fronts. Food insecurity, you saw the maps presented to you this morning. A very high percentage of Africa's populations are, in fact, in conditions of appreciable food insecurity. Energy challenges, there are at least 600 million Africans today with inadequate access to modern energy sources. Industrialization, digitization, and value-added beneficiation of primary export products. You heard Trudy Mahaya yesterday in the context of BRICS make the observation that even the BRICS has not enabled a significant increase in the beneficiation of Africa's primary exports. And then lastly, the challenge of education, and related to that, the whole question of employment in a part of the world which has the youngest population in terms of all of the SDG regions, which will maintain a population of working age and below working age by today's standards until the end of the 21st century, and in addition to which will effectively triple its existing population by 2100. Between now and 2050, Africa will roughly double its existing population. It will add another third up to the end. So these challenges are enormous. The opportunities are extraordinary because Africa will have the largest demographic dividend in principle in the world over the course of the next 70 years. And what we're going to try and unpack this afternoon is what Africa is doing about it, how investors are currently reacting to these opportunities and risks, and what we have to do collectively as citizens of one world in order to be able to enable a sustainable and effective future for Africa.